Hi you guys, this is Carmen with Connect with Angels, and today we're going to be talking about two things. So I was sitting down talking to my angels and asking them what they wanted me to share with you guys. And yep, they're my doggies. Hi you. I have a chow and you'll see a little cat, Saf, and my big black cat, tuxedo cat, that's Poochie. He's the one that likes to meow really loud. So I was talking to them, and I was asking them, what would you like me to talk to my viewers or YouTube, and what would you like for me to share? So they were telling me love. And I said, oh, we just did a topic on love, learning to love yourself, love your body, sending love out. When you act lovingly, you receive that in return. Just like when you meet someone and they're so magnetic and you can't help but be in a good mood when they're around, and you get, sucked in with that energy and you just love it. They just give you so much energy. Have you guys met that? People like that? I have, and I just love being around people who are so positive and, So when you radiate that, you'll receive that with some people. Some people, of course, you might not be so successful, but all you can do is send them love, and hopefully you'll see changes, or send them love and protect yourself in a protective bubble of divine white light. You can even protect yourself in a divine bubble of pink light and just cocoon yourself and allow, say only positive things are coming through, only positive divine light, love. Keep anything negative, anyone with low energy, negative vibes, keep that away from me, so that way you're always radiating or resonating in divine love. Another way you can always be resonating at a higher vibration is just as you're going around your day, breathing through the soles of your feet and the top of your head, or just breathe in and picture yourself breathing in the green energy, the violets energies, all the energies that the earth has to give you. And of course, I only take in that which is positive and that which is from the divine light and nurturing. Just breathe it in to the top, the soles of your feet, the top of your head and your nose, and have it connect to the center of your heart. Allow for that to come out and send it out. And you kind of calm down and you're at a higher vibration. I know me, I always tend to be like spacey. So, and just like love, whenever you can remember, just radiate, so that way you're always radiating, resonating that energy. So I was talking to my angels, of course, and they said that, well, this is what they said: love. They wanted me to talk to you guys about love, because love encompasses all. It is the fruit of all, and everyone deserves and is loved. Talk to them to learn to love what they do. So when you are doing something, whatever it is you're doing, do it with love. Radiate that love to it. Begin to change your attitude about what you're doing and just radiate and resonate love to it. When you love what you do, how you function, and how you relate to others with love, it is contagious, and others, sometimes, because I'm writing so fast as I'm getting, sometimes it's really hard for me to try to see my writing. They will come to, they would love to be around you. That's what they were saying. With love and kindness, one changes the world. Oh, and resonates at a higher vibration. That's what they're telling me. And then they're also telling me about Mother Earth, for you to learn to love Mother Earth, for you to love Earth around you. And because they said Mother Earth is an energy. She is living. You know, how many times do we see people and they just totally have no regards for Earth? They go around just destroying all the beauty that she has to offer. So they're saying, learn to love Mother Earth, because she is living. She nurtures us, and we need to take care of her because she provides so much for us. The reason, okay, because I'm like, Mother Earth, and they're like, the reason she's a Mother Earth is because she gives birth to everything. Plant life. You drink from her bosom, and she was showing me, you know, water and the fruits that we have that we're provided for, that provide, you know, like oranges, and we drink from what she has to offer. So they were saying you drink from her bosom and nectar. Yeah, you take what is born from her. You take from her womb. So she is a mother. And then they're telling me, isn't she beautiful? Love the earth, take care of her, for she provides plenty for you. So I was thinking, that is so true, because there's a lot of people. I thought they were going to want me to talk to you guys about something else, but they wanted me to talk to you guys about Mother Earth, and for us to start taking care of her, especially right now that it's being very chaotic, and it almost seems like Mother Earth is responding to everything that's going on around her. So they actually gave me 2 messages about her, because first they give me a message for me, and then they'll give me a message about what they want me to talk to you guys about. So 2 of them. So first one is about Mother Earth, and the other one's about how do you know you're receiving divine messages. So yeah, here we go. They're telling me to teach us how to appreciate Earth and how the wonderful things in life. Give thanks to Mother Earth and the universe, and your blessings will multiply, because you'll switch your energy to one that is open for greatness. You'll be flowing in a positive flow of thanks and receiving. You'll also be in a giving flow, for you give thanks, you give appreciation, and you give yourself to what you do, and it's done with love and gratitude, and you'll receive the same in return. That is the truth. So it says, plant the seed of thanks, gratitude, and in return you'll pollinate the earth with your desires and plant fruit of life that compensates you. Give thanks to Mother Earth, and she will reward you, and the universe too. So that's what I was receiving. Then I was seeing this beautiful stuff that was coming down, light blue and the universe and indigo colors. I was seeing that. So that was one of the things that they wanted. Isn't that so true? When you are in a giving of gratitude and you are thankful and you do things with love, your attitude changes. I know sometimes it's really hard, especially if you're at a difficult job. You can ask the angels, the divine God, to help you to learn to love, maybe to switch you to a different department, or sometimes we have to go through things so that we can learn to appreciate other things. So if you don't go through hard times, you might not be able to appreciate things that are good for you. That's not to say that if you've never gone through hard times that you don't appreciate things that are good for you, but you have a different understanding and you can relate to someone who's been at a job especially if you don't like it. You could just ask to be guided and, you know, make applications to other jobs or other departments. And remember, I had asked you, what you can also do is to write down what the type of job and be very specific about what you want or what you want in life. Write down if you want a significant other. Write down what you want in the significant other. Write down what you want in a career. Write down what you want in a home. And always say for the good of all, for the best and good of all, because you don't want to take something away from someone. So whatever it is that you desire, a puppy, a course that you might want to take, a college that you might want to attend. So write down everything that you want and be very specific. Write down, the one that I always think about was a job, because me being a military wife, constantly moving back and forth, and it was always, please give me a job where I can be working when my children are in school and I will be home by the time they get out of school, or when they get out of school, a job where I can have weekends off. Please give me a job that I love, that I get along with my co-workers, everyone helps each other, that we are all harmonious with each other, a job that is understanding that I am a mother and that I might have to take time off. Give me a job that I will love, that I will go to and be happy that I'm working there. And I'm telling you, I did this throughout my children's lives. They're now 21 and 22. And I always had a job that I had weekends off and that I worked during the times that they were in school. The latest I ever got off was 4. And there were times when my husband had gone to Korea, and he was in Korea for a year and a half, or he was in Iraq, or he was sent to different locations where I was a single parent. And I was always very thankful, and always be very thankful. And know that every prayer is answered. You might not think that your prayer is answered or that anything is happening, but things are happening behind the scenes that you might not be aware of. There's a lot going on, and just be thankful and trust, but always to take action. So this leads me into the other about how do you know when you're receiving divine guidance? How do you know when you are receiving it? So one thing that they were telling me, so let me see. So they were telling me, divine guidance comes from a spark of divine insight, usually stemming from the heart, and then it makes its way to whatever sensory way you respond to most, whether it be clear knowing, where you just know, you get a picture, you hear a voice, you know, you might see like if you're looking for something, you see a picture of where it is. That's what they were telling me. So they were saying like it makes its way to your head, but it's all energy. So that point, so the point is that you get it, and your other senses will pick it up, your other receptors. So let's say your mind, your thought, your knowing. It's all called spark because it can spark and come in at any point in time. There we go, at any point in time. So it says, one may want to meditate, but due to an active mind, be unable to receive the messages being received. So sometimes we're not able to, we're not picking up, but you're receiving insight. So it says, and so the messages filter in at any given time when one least expects it, because they are no longer preoccupied. Pay attention to the insight you receive, write it down, trust, and let go. and allow for the divine flow to come in. Thank you. So have you ever noticed, like, sometimes you're too busy trying to think of where something is, or you're too busy trying to meditate. Next thing, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? The easiest time it comes in is through dreams. So pay attention to your dreams. Write them down. That is one thing my mom always made us. For some reason, every morning when we woke up, we always talked about our dreams. That was very important to my mom. So we would all sit there and talk about our dreams. So hey, you might make it to where you can do that and talk about your dreams with your children to start paying attention. You know, you might even write them down. That helps, because your dreams say a lot about what's going on with your psyche, what's going on in your personal life. So pay attention. One of the things that you can tell if it's a divine message is, you know, usually, have you ever been talking about something and then you go that night and you dream about it, or you watched a movie and you dream about it? That's not divine insight. Usually it's something that comes out of the blue, like 2 or 3 weeks later or later on the line. That's your intuition, your psyche, divine guidance trying to come through and give you guidance, and using that to give you a message. Whatever movie you saw, or whatever, you know, a commercial, or just a dream, and write it down, because there's insight. That's what happened to me one time. All of a sudden I had a dream, and I said that me and my friend went to apply to be aides, and I wasn't aide. And I called my friend that morning and I said, hey, you know, I just had a dream that you and I went to apply and we were aides. And she's like, oh yeah, I went ahead and I made an application yesterday. I was like, what? So I went ahead and I went in and I worked as an aide for 3 years. I really loved it. With at youth risk, it's just, you know, like I said, sometimes the kids aren't the problem, it's the grown-ups. So anyway, but I really loved it. And so pay attention. Sometimes you could just be watching TV and something pops in. Pay attention to that. Sometimes it feels, I always hear like how I feel is like, go over here. But I feel it here. Me, it's more in the heart. So it's look up. Inside, like my heart's talking to me, but it's my brain, you know, here in my brain. So pay attention to that and write it down. And the more you start, and it's true, the more you write it down, you'll hear everybody say, the more acknowledge you're giving it, you start sensing, knowing the difference of when you are receiving that divine guidance. And know that divine guidance is not going to try to control you. Know that it's not going to try to make you be mean to people, cut you away from family members. It'll try to help you work things out, or how to do things lovingly. Or with me, sometimes it's like, with me, it's right now I need a break from this person, but it's always give love to that person and give them healing so that they can learn to love and heal. That's something I do on my own. It's right now I need a break because there's too much chaos going on with this person, so I need a break. And you know, I have this particular family member that's always this way. And so yesterday I reached out. As a matter of fact, yesterday I accidentally dialed them, and I said I was kind of contemplating wishing them a happy Mother's Day, and I accidentally dialed. So maybe it was my angels. And I'm like, hey, hi, how are you? You know, happy Mother's Day. And oh yeah, happy Mother's Day. And then it started all over again. It was like, and I'm just like, oh. And so I was just like, yeah, well, you know, all right, well, I just called to wish you a happy Mother's Day. I'll see you later. So, but you know, I'm stepping back, but I'm still kind of like leaving the door open for them to kind of hopefully change, and or you know, not so much change, but learn to love yourself and life and everyone around you. So, but yeah, like divine guidance, it could come in anyway. Sometimes too with me it comes as either I'm going to sleep or I'm waking up. Like I might just be getting ready to go to bed and it comes through. It could be a picture, it could be like, that was me. So it could be like sometimes as I'm going to sleep I get a picture and a message, as I'm waking, usually when I'm waking up, that's where I get more divine messages. But so pay attention and write it down, you know. And if you feel something is not healthy and that's the message you're getting, to, you know, remove yourself from a particular situation or particular someone, you know, you could ask for a sign, and for all you know, you can see a show and the same situation is happening and you see that the person removed themselves. So learn to pay attention, because messages and divine guidance comes in many ways. It comes through friends, a story someone's telling, a story you're seeing on TV, reading an article online, someone sharing something, a similar experience, a song that you're being guided, something, a magazine. One time I asked my angel, he barks a lot. Whenever he hears anything, he just starts barking. And I don't like keeping him outside because he'll just bark nonstop, and I don't want my neighbors to get irritated. So they said, I should have known this. As cute as he is and as much as I love him, they say wire-haired terriers, fox terriers are the #1 barkers besides them beagles. So anyway, but sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't need you to bark. But he notices everything. He starts barking. He notices anything out of place, he starts barking. So, but yeah, start paying attention, you know. But know that everything your angels tell you is for your better. It's always done loving. They never want you to hurt anyone. They don't want to take control of you. As I've said, if anything like that happens, you need to ask your angels and God. And I especially love to call Archangel Michael and say, remove this energy from here. I only accept that which is from the divine white light and nothing else. That is for my highest good. So remove this energy and help it cross over and take it to the light. And I do that. You know, so if you ever feel anything like that, know that because of your free will, it will not be taken away from you. And I'll share with you an experience that happened to me. I went to Walmart. I really get Walmart is really packed. I get like I'm being suffocated. I grew up in the city, so I don't understand what's going on. So I really feel like, too many people. You know, so I like to go to Walmart at night, and so I went, and it was about I think I went like at 8:30, and I like to park by the garden center because it's just the easiest place for me to park. It's not so congested. So I parked by the garden center. I went to Walmart, and as I'm coming back, it's already 9:30, and I notice that it's only my car, and like 6 spaces further is a black, what was it, a black SUV, a sports utility vehicle. And I'm like, oh God, everybody is over there, and it's barely 9:30, and it's just me and this person. It was already dark. So I'm like, okay, so I'm getting ready to put my stuff up, and my angels told me to look up. They're like, look up. So I look up, and I see this guy coming towards me really slow. He's like really, really slow. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Because I was too busy getting ready, getting my stuff from the shopping cart. So, you know, like, look up, and I did. And so I see that, and he's walking super slow towards me, like really. I'm like, oh my God. So what I do is he starts coming closer to me as I close the door to my truck, and I go around the other way. So now he's on this side, now I'm on the other side. And he is like walking so slow. I'm like, well, what's up with him? And so I'm standing there, and I'm looking at him, and I'm letting him know, I know you're, I'm looking at you, see me looking at you. So he goes to the car, the other car that was like 6 spaces away from me, and he goes in there, and I'm like, oh, okay, he's going in there. So I start putting in my stuff from that side, and my angels were like, look up. So I look up, and now he's coming back my way again. So I'm like, so I close the door, and I go to the other side now. So he's coming this way, and now towards the back of my car now, and he goes and he stands there for a little bit, and I'm in the front, and then he goes and he walks a few paces where there's a stop sign, and he's there, and he's just standing there, and I'm like I put the stuff, no, let me see, I'm this way, so I have my shopping cart, and I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, okay, what should I do? And I see him coming back, and as he's coming back, I'm like basically whatever way he was going, I was going the opposite way, like. So then finally he just decides to go in through like a little alleyway where there's the mechanic part, there's the garden center, and then there's the mechanic part. And I see him, and I quickly put my stuff in, and I push the cart in, and and as I'm leaving, he's standing in the alleyway of the garden center, I mean by the mechanic stuff, and he's like doing something with his hands, and I'm like, what in the world? And I said, well, thank God, thank you. And as I leave, and I was just like, man, that was so weird, and putting my stuff away. So then I think I went to sleep, I went to bed, and I was just like, man. And when I woke up, like my angels were like, you need to call the cops because you were safe, but he might try to do this to someone else, so you need to call the cops. So I was like, okay. So I call the cops, and I'm like, I love like forensic files, cold justice, ID network, the CI network. I love, because I wanted to be a police officer when I was younger. And so I'm like, he's going to tell me there's nothing he can do about it because there was no crime that was committed. So I called the police, and I told them what happened. I have my receipt saying what time this happened. And I told them, and he was like, well, ma'am, there's no crime that was committed, so there's nothing I can do. And I'm like, well, can you send somebody to Walmart? Can you guys start watching Walmart at night? Because this was really scary, and I'm afraid he might try to do this to someone else. And they're like, well, all I can do is like notate it, so that's all I can do, ma'am. And I was like, okay. He's like, all right. And I go, well, wait a minute, aren't you gonna even ask me what the guy looks like? He wasn't even gonna ask me what the guy looked like. And he's like, you can tell me what the guy looked like. I was like, for real? This guy wasn't even. So anyway, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to call Walmart. I gave him the time. I gave him everything. And he said he was going to look into it. And they were going to pull the camera. And they were going to look. And if the police ever came, they were going to tell him. That's what happened. See, I paid attention to my angels. They were like, look up. How many times does that happen where you're walking or something, and just something is amiss? Something just does not feel right. What I would suggest is, if it feels uncomfortable, I would leave. And if you have a family and children, I would call just to make sure they're okay. Just start learning to pay attention. For me, it's always been look up, look, turn this way, look that way, because God knows how many times I almost got kidnapped as a kid. My mom would like to say, and she'd be like, here, to me and my sisters, go, it's 10 o'clock at night, go to Smith's and go get some milk. I'm not lying. It was, and so we'd go, of course it was a different generation back in the late 70s, but 10 years old, that would have been like 83. So, we grew up at a different time back then where people did do that. I used to see all kinds of kids going to the store late at night, and that just makes it easier. I had 2 people try to get me in their car. And one, I just started busting out crying so loud that the guy peeled off. He wanted me to read a license plate. And another one, the guy opened the door and was telling me to come in. Oh yeah, another one too. The guy told me and my sister that if we got in his car, he would give us candy. And I was just like, no. And my sister was like, okay. And I was like, no. And I grabbed my sister and we went. So always pay attention to that. that you get. Oh, I've always paid attention. God knows how many close calls I've had. I don't know how many exit points I decided I wanted to do. You know, I'm like, okay, I think I might do an exit on this when I'm 7. I think I might want to do an exit when I'm born. I think I might want to do an exit with, you know, when I'm 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Like, I'm like, how many exit points did I want for my life? So, but learn to pay attention to the divine. I want to share this with you about learning to love Mother Earth. And it's true, isn't it? Getting really chaotic right now. There seems to be a lot of tension in the world, in the United States. I see what's going on. I feel like I'm watching a third world country at war, and I'm actually watching the United States, what's going on in the United States. I'm like, this is horrible what's going on. Oh my God. You know? So I'm like, this kind of makes sense that we need to learn to love. And hopefully all this hatred, all this, you know, just do and surround yourself with positive. I'm not saying turn a blind eye to what's going on in the world. All we can do is pray, love Mother Earth, I love how some people do circles where they pray for the earth so it could vibrate at a higher frequency. You can do that. You can start one with your community. Your church might do this if you go to church, or you can do one every day. You know, join a circle and just do a prayer for Earth, because Mother Earth needs it right now, and we need to start taking care of her, repopulating the trees, plant a beautiful garden. So many bees are dying now, and just start. We need it. We need this cycle to continue in a positive cycle of Mother Earth, because we're really destroying her. And I just love the fact that my angels said, talk to them about Mother Earth and be thankful and be giving thanks, giving gratitude, taking care of her, and you will be rewarded because you're setting that energy in motion. So I want to thank you guys for joining me, and you guys have a very blessed day, and always talk to your angels. You know they're with you. And if you're washing dishes and something just pops in your mind, a picture or something, a heart, sometimes I get roses out of the blue, know that someone's sending you a message of love and that they're with you. And pay attention, write down everything, because it will start, you will start, when you meditate every day, like if you start meditating, just start writing down everything you get. It's going to start getting easier and easier and easier for you to make that connection. And every day that you doing your morning thanks, your morning prayer, your evening prayer, afternoon prayer, whatever prayer it is, do it and mean it. But so the more you start talking to your angels, write down, have a conversation, and I always say I am open and receptive to everything you give me, and I ask for your protection, and I ask that everything that comes through is from the divine white light, and only that, and that everything is for the highest good of all. Amen. So thank you guys. I hope you guys had an awesome Mother's Day, and you guys take care. Bye.